Hello everyone, my name is Rashmi, and today I stand before you to speak about a topic that has my name in it. I know, it's called Don't Rush Me by Rashmi. It's funny, but come to think of it, it's also very deep, because our entire life is all about rushing around. It's like the compartments of a train. You're born, you go to school, you go to college, you get a job, you get some business, you then get married, you have children, and then your children go into those compartments. Eventually they have children, and you end up taking care of those children. What happens after that? Well, you rest in peace. Is that how you want your life to be? This whole series of rushing around and finally resting in peace after your life is over? What are the things that we truly need? It's great to go to an amazing school, to go to an even better college, to have that big car, an even bigger house. But what is that we really need? From my experience, it's been health and happiness. Imagine everything that you have around you and you don't have health to enjoy them. Imagine doing all the things that you do and going through all the experiences that you go through and not being happy. What's the point? And I would know this because years ago, I was somebody who was rushing around. The head girl of my school, the best organizer in college, an MBA, postgraduate jobs that gave 25% increments, a husband and a son. And at that juncture, life decided that, I had to really pause and think over it. That's when I learned the most valuable lesson of pause. My son then, aged 3, was diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum. For those of you who don't know about autism, autism is a neurological condition that impacts the way you communicate and socialize with the rest of the world. I had no clue about that. My son today is 20, so 17 years ago, there was no talk about autism. What I knew was that I had to rush around. If I kept rushing around, I would find the answers. So I did that. I went from therapy to therapy, from one end of the city to the other end of the city, and I worked tirelessly. What was the end result? The end result was that I was completely broken down, and my son, for who I was supposedly doing all this running around, instead of progressing, he was regressing. That's when I took a pause. I said, what am I doing? What is the end goal? What do I plan to achieve? And we began working on that. We began figuring out what therapies work best for our son, which environments really help him blossom. And in time, he did. He began to communicate in a way that really suits him well, thriving in environments that worked for him. Today, age 20, he's on the cusp of going and living independently in a residential community where people understand autism. And I, for one, who had a complete breakdown, have gone ahead and established my own company and am an autism advocate. All of this did not happen in a rush. It happened because I took that pause. I took that pause and understood, what is my life calling? We often think a pause means you're lazy, you're not focused, you're not there to achieve your goals. No, it means nothing of that sort. It just means you're taking that pause to recalibrate your life and go ahead. In fact, if you have to look around you, look at children. They are in absolutely no rush to grow up. They are very clear. They get up in the morning and they are curious. Where does this come from? What happens here? And because of that curiosity, they keep learning every day. They understand that this whole universe works for them, that everybody loves them unconditionally, whether it's parents, siblings, grandparents, uncle, aunts, people in school. Everybody loves them unconditionally. And that's why it's no surprise that most of us love children and we ensure that all their dreams are met. Above all, children are very present in their life. They see the opportunities before them and make the most out of it. It's almost similar to our elders. Our elders also live every day so passionately, giving it their all. They understand that life is finite, so give it your best shot. And if somebody ever comes to them for advice, they tell those people out of empathy, not out of sympathy. Empathy is not a skill that you can just learn in a rush. It takes time. Our elders teach us that health is truly wealth. In fact, I have most of my friends who laugh at me because every 6 months I go for a health checkup. But I'm happy I do that because every time I do that, I catch a small niggle which could otherwise be a big disease. Our elders teach us that. They teach us that none of us are an island by ourselves. We cannot do anything alone. If I stand here today talking to you on a TEDx platform, it's because I have a supportive husband, because I have an amazing team. Without them, I'm nothing. And when you receive so much, you automatically give. And it is in giving that we grow as human beings. And above all, there is some magical force, whether you call it God, or you call it a higher power, or you call it spirituality, that guides our life. All of these things cannot be learned in a rush. So where do you really start from? Well, start from your own body. Your body is the vehicle in which you move around. And all of us know, your body requires 7 to 9 hours of sleep. It requires 2 liters of water, exercise of 30 to 45 minutes, and you eat your meals on time. Simple. But we don't do that because we're so busy rushing. We've got to prove a point. We've got to do something. We've got to live our life in comparison with somebody else. If you focus just on your progress and not on somebody else's progress, you actually will do far better. Imagine comparing yourself with somebody who's at level A or B, and your capacity and your capability is at level X, Y, and Z. You're limiting yourself. So comparing yourself with somebody else just doesn't work. Instead, be like children who are very curious, who want to learn something new, because growth then is guaranteed to you. And have the attitude of gratitude that our elders have showed us. Because when you have that attitude, the whole circle of life completes. Above all, just pause. Whether it's a yes, whether it's a no, before sending that email, before committing your time, pause. Is it necessary? Does this help? So to cover everything that I have said in a nutshell, choose your own pace. Go as per what your pace is. We are all unique here. Each one of us has unique fingerprints. None of us have, like I have a fingerprint and you have the same fingerprint. None of us have that. So why then copy somebody else's pace? My son was told years ago that he would never travel because he was on the autism spectrum, so he would just not travel. That boy today has seen the whole of India and half of the world. He's done this in his own pace and not to prove a point to anyone. And when you're in your own pace, you will also honor the seasons that you are in. Today in my 40s, I certainly can't do the things that I could do in my 20s. But most certainly, I couldn't do in my 20s what I do in my 40s. And when you understand this simple aspect of respecting your seasons, you will also respect your dreams, your health, your relationships. My sister and I were just speaking, and we just realized that all the dreams that we have, these will take time. You'll have to give them time. You'll have to crystallize them. Your health, figure out what works best for you. My husband goes swimming, I go walking. You figure out whatever works best for you and do it, because your health is really important. Your relationships, those are the things that nurture you. I spend time with my parents, with my in-laws, with my close family and friends, and all of that nurtures us together. In fact, recently I had coffee with one of my closest friends, and it was a conversation that got me going for days. But if there's anything that I would love for all of you to leave today with, then that is about being present in your own life. My son goes to his center, and because he's so present in today, he learns something new every day, whether it is cup making or doing data entry. My nephew, he actually goes and plays football and then comes back and does a science project. My niece does her ballet recital and her painting. We can do all of that if we are just present in our life. And I truly hope that after today, if somebody asks you, hey, come on, let's hurry up, you turn back and tell them, don't rush me, because life is a journey and not a destination. Thank you so much for your time today.